Hello everyone. Welcome back to Twilight Tales. Tonight's tale is not for the faint of heart. If you're new here, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who enjoys the kind of horror that crawls into your bed at night and whispers in your ear when you're just about to fall asleep. Let's dive in. But remember, some doors should never be opened. I moved into the house on Hollow Creek Road in early October, lured by the cheap rent and the promise of solitude. It was a 2-bedroom place surrounded by tall pines, the kind of spot people dream of when they say they want to get away from it all. I didn't ask why the rent was so low, figured it was a lucky break. You don't question blessings when you're running from a past that still claws at your back. The house smelled like dust and old books. The wooden floors creaked like they were trying to tell me something. But it had character, I told myself. That's what people said when things were a little off, right? It's got character. The landlord, Mr. Holloway, had smiled too much when he handed me the keys. Said something weird before he left. "If a door opens at night," he said, half laughing, "just stay in bed." I thought it was a joke. I even laughed with him. The first night passed uneventfully. I unpacked some boxes, ordered pizza, and fell asleep watching static on a television that hadn't been plugged in. The second night was different. Around 2:47 a.m., I woke up to the unmistakable sound of a door creaking open. Slow, deliberate, like someone testing how loud they could be without waking me. I froze. My bedroom door was shut but not locked. I sat up in bed and listened, heart pounding against my ribs. There it was again. A soft groan of wood and the faintest tap, 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 like footsteps. I got up and checked the living room, the kitchen, the front door. Nothing. No windows were open. Nothing had fallen. I chalked it up to an old house adjusting to the cold. The third night, the same thing. This time I stayed in bed, just like the landlord had said, but I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling while that same door, the one at the end of the narrow hallway, creaked open. I hadn't opened that door since moving in. It led to a small room I had no use for. It smelled like mildew and something coppery, like blood or rust. I figured I'd use it for storage eventually, maybe not at all but that door, and it opened every single night at the exact same time. 2:47 a.m. By the fifth night, I started to dread going to bed. I'd lie there, wide-eyed, waiting. I tried keeping lights on. Didn't matter. I even pushed a chair in front of the door before sleeping. Heard it scrape across the wood when the door opened anyway. Something opened it. Something that didn't give a damn about chairs or common sense. I tried calling Mr. Holloway. Straight to voicemail. I left messages, but he never called back, so I did what every sane person does when they think they're going crazy. I recorded it. I set my phone on a tripod in the hallway, aimed it at the door. That night, I forced myself to sleep. In the morning, I watched the video with trembling hands. 47 a.m. The doorknob turned on its own. It turned with such precision, like someone on the other side was waiting for the right moment. It opened inward, slowly, and stayed open for 10 full minutes. Then, just as deliberately, it closed. No one came out. No one went in. But my phone's microphone picked up something. A voice. Barely audible. "I see you." I stared at the screen, every hair on my body standing upright. I rewound it a dozen times. Same whisper, same horrible rasp. I even enhanced the audio on my laptop. The voice wasn't human. It was wrong. Hollow. Like someone speaking from inside a throat filled with mud. I should have left then. Should have packed my things and burned that place to the ground. But I didn't, because I was starting to hear it even when I wasn't watching the footage. Every night the door opened. Every night I stayed in bed, clutching my blanket like it could save me. But now I could hear the whispers. Not just, "I see you," but other things. "Come closer. He left us here. You're next." They never sounded angry. That would have been easier. These whispers were calm, almost pleading, like whatever was behind that door didn't want to hurt me. It wanted me to understand. I started keeping a journal, wrote down what I heard, the times, the temperature in the room. One night, I woke up drenched in sweat, but the thermostat read, "4°. My breath came out in fog. I walked down the hallway that night, I don't know why. I think I was done being scared. Or maybe I was tired of pretending I didn't want to know. The door was open again. I stepped inside. The room was darker than it should have been, like the light from the hallway couldn't penetrate it. There were no windows, just four walls and the smell. Stronger now, like rotting meat and wet soil. And there were marks on the floor. Not scratches, drag marks, like something had been pulled across the wood again and again. I followed them to the far wall. There was a mirror, an old one, tall and cracked, leaning against the corner. I hadn't noticed it before. I don't think it was there when I moved in. My reflection didn't move when I did. I stared, heart thundering as the reflection slowly raised its hand even though mine stayed still. Then it smiled. Not a mischievous grin. No, it was wide, violent. Its lips split at the sides, revealing teeth that weren't mine, too many, too sharp. I stumbled backward, the door slammed shut behind me. I screamed, pounded on the door, but no one came. I was alone. Except I wasn't. The thing in the mirror stepped closer. I backed into the far wall, whispering every prayer I could remember. But the thing didn't break the glass. It didn't come out. It just watched me, smiling. Then it spoke. "You'll never leave." The door opened behind me. I ran out and didn't stop running until I hit the woods. I called a friend to come get me. I left everything in that house. My clothes, my phone, even my journal. I never went back, but I still hear the door. Every night at 2:47 a.m., no matter where I am, creak, tap, tap, tap. And sometimes, I still see that mirror in my dreams and I know, it's still smiling. If you made it this far, congratulations. You're brave, or maybe just curious. Either way, thank you for joining tonight's descent into darkness. If you enjoyed this horror tale, smash that like button, subscribe for more sleepless nights, and share this story with someone who needs a good scare. This has been Twilight Tales. Until next time, keep your doors locked, especially the ones that open on their own.